Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of my quote-unquote blind playthrough of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin for the PlayStation 4. So I should state right off the bat that the reason why I've called this a blind playthrough with blind in scare quotes is that, at least if you're new to the channel, I am quite familiar with the original Dark Souls 2, and racked up perhaps about 1,000 hours on the Xbox 360 version of the same. And wow. 60 FPS, Dark Souls 2, I must say I am very impressed. But yes, I'm intimately familiar with the original Dark Souls 2. And so this isn't a blind playthrough of Dark Souls 2 as much as it is a blind playthrough of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. And that is to say, I've consciously avoided watching any and all videos or playthroughs, just as I did in preparation for my blind run of Bloodborne. Avoided everything so that I could experience at least in this case, the definitive version of the game fresh with no spoilers beforehand. But yes, seeing as I am familiar with Dark Souls 2, the original base game, and I'm realizing that this looks rather washed out, so I am going to actually... Alright, I didn't mean to make my character look so incredibly white. But yes, so this isn't a blind playthrough of Dark Souls 2, but it is a blind playthrough of Scholar of the First Sin. It's the simplest way I can put it. Let's say hello to Shanalot.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick. Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid. Seek those whose names are unutterable, the four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Bearer of the curse, seeks let.
Okay, so I don't think I'm going to spend too much time with dialogue in this playthrough. At least to the extent that it continues to be apparent that there is no new dialogue. But let me know in the comment section if it's something that, you know, is well known, if just that there's new dialogue with a specific NPC. Without being too spoilery, you can let me know, because if I know that there's, say, no new dialogue, I can't recall whether these books were here in the base game. I don't think they were, which is interesting. Either that, or I'm only noticing it now because just the game looks so much better. I'm recording in 60 FPS, so it is my hope that, you know, I haven't tried. I generally record in 720p at 30 frames a second. Don't have the most powerful CPU, the most powerful computer, but I'm not going to talk to you for now. Yeah, I don't have the most powerful computer, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to handle 1080p 60 frames a second. I will do my very best. I suppose this episode is kind of a test of that, just to see whether or not I'm able to do this recording without dropping many frames. It's kind of my shadows floating in the middle of the air there. That's kind of strange. But yeah, if I'm able to not drop any frames or anything like that, then I'm likely to continue to record in 1080-60 because I want to, and this is something I strive for in all my playthroughs, to help you experience what I'm experiencing, because that's the best way I can communicate what it is that my actions in the game and how I interact with the world. That's the type of stuff that I try to get across in my playthrough, because it's one way of demonstrating powerfully how the Souls games are, they're unique for everyone, because it depends very much on what state you're in as a person when you engage with the game, the type of experience that you're going to have with it. So I like to show just that, you can have any number of experiences and make it unique each time, no matter if it's your 3rd or 300th playthrough.
And you do leave any what do you we and that and eat the protect.
So I'm joining the Covenant, not to be in the Covenant. In fact, my internet's actually down right now, so I am playing offline.
That is a wise people.
But I am joining just
now you find
as is my regular routine. I like to get the blue seal ring because it does increase your HP slightly. And I'm interested. It's interesting to note that so far, at least for me, my beginning game routine is essentially the same. I guess we're about to see in the Force of Fallen Giants whether, to what extent the game has actually changed. Because I imagined that the item placement was going to be different entirely. Like I said, I haven't seen anything in terms of what has and has not changed, or any playthroughs or anything like that. So one thing you may have noticed already is that I keep opening the gesture menu, and that is because, for gosh knows what reason, FromSoft decided that for Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, despite the precedent having been set with Bloodborne of the touchpad corresponding to gestures or a secondary quick menu, and it's fine, I don't care about the quick menu. What I do care about is that the start button is for the gestures, or the options button I should say, and the touchpad opens the menu, which to me is backwards. And so that's going to take some getting used to. I figured because it was on the PlayStation 4 that I would be able to... I'm still hearing FG there. That I would be able to remap the button assignments per the latest PS4 system update. And so, I figured, whoa, okay, that's new. Interesting. I also keep wanting to press the... as with the controllers, part of that is not necessarily that it's backwards, but also just that I've not played Dark Souls 2 since Bloodborne came out. And so, something I was just somewhat attempting to do... Whoa! I don't know if you're new or not, but... is that I was thinking of two-handing my weapon using the L1 button. So I don't think I'm going to fight that thing there, because I really don't have any reason to. And particularly not with this starting class. I'm starting off with a broken straight sword, or straight sword hilt, whichever one it is. So another thing too is I was expecting myself to do a quick step there. So yeah, so this is going to be a lot of, on the one hand, rust, you could say, given, yeah, I've unfortunately not been playing as much Bloodborne as I would like to be, but Bloodborne, I haven't touched Dark Souls 2 in any way, shape, or form since Bloodborne came out, so it's going to be a lot of trying to get used to the control scheme and whatnot again. So they got rid of the Hide Knight, eh? That's interesting. So I assume that means that the Hide Knights will actually be in hides now? Alright, I'm playing this like it's Bloodborne. This is not Bloodborne. This is not Bloodborne. This is not Bloodborne. I need to keep reminding myself that. Because I was playing that like it was Bloodborne. Like, just reckless abandon, hoping for, you know, hoping to keep your health up via regain, and also expecting that I had a half-decent weapon. Which, of course, I did not. I'm also playing this like, the original Dark Souls 2, which it got to the point where I could essentially speedrun through the whole game and not even really have to pay any attention in doing so. So let's try my old... In addition to there are way more enemies. Holy moly, look at this. See, and that to me is not necessarily a good change. Oh, green blossoms there. That's an interesting change. Because look at this. This is just obscene. And I have to get used to the... Not quick enough. Not quick enough. There are too many enemies here. This is ridiculous. I need to get used to those low adaptability heals too. That's gonna hurt a lot. Ugh. Okay. Let's do a little shake and shimmy here. And then foggy. Not quick enough. Not nearly quick enough. There are so many fucking hollows here. This is ridiculous. Holy shit. Okay. We're going up the ladder. No, come on. Give me a break for 1 second here, please. Oh, I forgot I can drop off. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh man. Alright, no more speedrun strats, so we're gonna just take out the enemies. As much as it pains me to say that. I need to not treat this, yeah, either as Bloodborne or as the original version of Dark Souls 2. It flows much differently. '60 FPS is definitely very interesting. That parry spam. Gosh. Those magnet arrows. Yeah, I promise I'm not actually this bad at the game, but... hate those overhead attacks. Okay. So yeah, so it has been quite a while since I released or at least since I recorded a playthrough. It is May 20th today, and I hope that each of you watching this is having a great day today. I'm unfortunately feeling a little bit under the weather. Yeah, it's been crazy for me in terms of work and deadlines, and I've had a number of articles and paper deadlines in the last month. Temperature in my apartment has been an ongoing concern. Today it's actually beautiful because it's something like 18 degrees Celsius outside, and so actually comfortable temperature-wise in my apartment for once, but I won't get into that in too great detail, but suffice it to say, I have been planning for quite some time, ever since, I believe it was in the last episode of my Bloodborne playthrough, I asked whether there would be any interest in a Dark Souls 2 playthrough, and AJson expressed that he would be interested in watching that. So of course that meant I would have probably played this game much sooner had I not said I would had I not committed myself to doing a blind playthrough. But so yeah, so this guy being on the ladder is definitely got to be a sign of a conscious attempt to undermine speedrun strats. I've never been good at making that jump to whatever that is that item is over there. Because, yeah. And I don't even really know what the item is. I can't recall, but as I seem to recall, it's nothing too special. So I'm probably not, as with the dialogue, going to go into too great depth of lore stuff. But I will point out things here and there. But if you are interested in my take on the Dark Souls 2 lore, I do have a series of Dark Souls 2 cinematic lore videos. Well, I guess only 3. But there's a possibility if there's anything new in this game that I will do some more. But one of the things I touched on was the existence of these embers, indicating that the flame is fading. And they look even better, if not a little bit more pronounced, in the PlayStation 4 edition of Dark Souls 2, because, yeah, that looks pretty cool to me. And this, of course, mirrors the dying embers that you see all over, say, the Undead Burg, and the, I don't want to say dying, but the floating shards of dark that you find in the Elysial Township. I don't remember Steve being there. Steve the MLG Hollow? Or is that his cousin? Alright, that's gonna take a lot of getting used to. As is having to, I really do, did the exact same thing in my, speaking of my Let's Talk Lore playthrough for Dark Souls 2, I did the exact same thing in that I had picked up the Morning Star, and the reason why I pick it up each time is so that I can use it, rather than having to use, was it the hilt, or, no, just broken straight sword. And I had a dagger, apparently, too, so, those of you out there watching and, screaming at your computer screen saying, dude, you picked up another weapon, what are you doing? I apologize, sincerely. Yeah, not 100%. And it has been quite some time since I've played Dark Souls 2. It's going to take a lot... The pairing is going to take a lot of getting used to, I think. I should probably take out Steve before anything. We're gonna call him Richard. Richard the MLG Hollow, how about that? Sorry, Richard. Unless that's Steve and they just moved him. Which I would be slightly disappointed about, if that is indeed the case. Keep wanting to do charge attacks. I need to remember that backstabs, just straight backstabs are a thing. Because I've not once attempted one. There are so many hollows here. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I hope this isn't indicative of the rest of the game, where rather than, you know, changing the enemy placement to actually make the engagements more fulfilling and satisfying, I hope that doesn't mean that they just pile on as many enemies as possible. But we'll see, I guess. So I assume similar trap here. Oh. Yet I walked right into all of them. And just remember the thrusting attack on the short sword. I feel almost like a new player again. Just because it takes so much getting used to the, not only the 60 FPS. Why the box is there? Yeah, it really seems like a lot of the stuff they've done is just to prevent people from just running by enemies. Although I don't remember this item being here. Life gem. Unless, yeah, I'm so used to just running by that I don't often notice that it's actually there. We're gonna go back there to see if the item over there is changed. Okay, so Malentia's still in the same place. If I do make any Dark Souls 2 lore videos on the existing characters, that is to say, if there are no new NPCs that you can actually speak with, then I think Malentia would make a very good make for a very good narrator for whatever that video would be. Because she provides an excellent demonstration of the, you know, how the games, you know, political military games played by the elites in Drain Lake affect the common person. And how, you know, as you discover later on in the game, you end up just being more or less a pawn in this game that's much larger than yourself and being played by people much more powerful and influential than yourself, past, present, irrespective of the actual time period. I don't remember you being there, but again, it's going to be a lot of, I don't remember that, but it could just be that, you know, my last X number of playthroughs through Dark Souls 2 was mostly, yeah, just running through things. I need to also remember that bonfires are not lamps, and then you can actually sit at them to replenish your healing wares, which is a very welcome change.
Buy something, anything.
Okay, so you still sell fire bombs. I'm gonna buy 2 just in case. I'm not gonna need Leningrass key just yet.
My name is in the jungle. Seemed like the battles would never end. Poor folk like myself have nary a place to sleep. That's why I keep all me things right with me. You may travel light, but methinks you bear a burden of your own. They say these trees grew from the remains of the giants. From each carcass sprouted new life growing into what you see now. But you hear what they also say? Don't believe what an old hag says. It's high time of a bargain. Thank you.
Okay, so I bought the fire bombs so that I might open up the shortcut here. But it just occurred to me that it's possible that they might have moved the barrels that are there in order to prevent this. So we'll try 2 fire bombs, see if we can get that working. Yep, I figured that they would have moved them. Either that or I wasn't angling it properly, but we'll see. Whoa. It is really dark in here. I know that this isn't the original lighting engine, but I'll give them credit for making me feel like I have to actually go light a torch. Although it does seem rather artificial, because as soon as you walk into that room, it just gets dark. There's no actual, like, transition there. Like, it doesn't seem like it actually... You know, it doesn't seem like it's actual lighting. It's artificial, obviously, when you walk in and it just gets dark for no reason. Is there no chest in here anymore? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Oh, come on. I was wondering where you were. That actually kind of scared me, though. I'll give them that. I see. No. I thought I saw a shiny there. I don't know. Ah, interesting. Hello. So it's interesting that the changes are so subtle. So yeah, so it's been a little while since I've been able to record really anything, so it's good to be back. I am currently working on, of course I recently released my first Bloodborne cinematic lore video on Eileen the Crow. I had a feeling there was going to be this direction. Oh! What am I doing? I apologize, everyone. Not my finest hour so far. That's for sure. Yeah, changes to the lighting system are certainly interesting, though. Items, particularly when they're in dark corners, their lighting is much more pronounced. In fact, everything, and it's almost as though the lighting is a bit too exaggerated. I'm not sure if I'm alone in feeling that, or if it has something to do with how I currently have my TV set. But the 60 FPS is just... It really makes a remarkable difference. And certainly makes me chuckle at And I know that this is a horse that's been beaten to death many times over, but really makes me chuckle at, was it Ubisoft who said that, you know, they were going to make their game, they were making one of the new Assassin's Creed games, which I've never played and never really had any interest in doing so, but that they were opting for 30 FPS over 60 FPS because 30 FPS provided a more cinematic experience, which, yeah. Like I said, horse been beaten to death, but it's still, especially when, you know, you play a game like this for the first time in 60 FPS after, you know, why would he have been moved there? That's just stupid. I guess fair enough, but
Oh. Well, it was... Wait. What? What? Oh, something?
So yeah, to continue what I was saying before I interrupted myself, yeah, just released my first Bloodborne cinematic lore video on Eileen the Crow. I have another one that I've been working on and off, but that is so far coming together very nicely on the Tired Hunter Jura. So, really looking forward to that one, because as well as my Eileen the Crow video worked out, I'm really thinking that the Jura video is going to be a step beyond even that video. But yeah, interesting. So the fire barrels are here. Oh, it looks like there are still fire barrels in front of the wall. Interesting. So I just probably messed that up then. Oh, Steve! Steve, help me out, please, Steve! Help me out! Why can't you aim, Steve? Okay, screw you. Yeah, so I hope that it's clear that my making this series does not mean that I'm done with Bloodborne. Because as I mentioned, I do have a Jura video coming, a cinematic lore video coming out soon. I am planning, after I'm done this playthrough, to... should actually look over here. Make sure there's no items now. After I'm done this playthrough, I am planning on starting oh! Steve, did you do that for me? Steve, you're the best. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. He's not even... He's like, I did my job. I'm just gonna chill now. Well done, Steve. Thank you. So yeah, so my next Bloodborne playthrough is going to be it's not going to be a Let's Talk Lore series because I don't know enough about the game to be able to do that just yet. But I think I'm going to call it Exploration, with exploration purposely misspelled EXPLORE ration. So, exploration. Yeah. It sounds dumber when you actually try to justify it verbally than it does, than it looks dumb when you just see it typed out. So, but yeah, so that will essentially be, whereas my blind playthrough, it is too dark in here. at jumping attack. So yeah, so whereas my blind playthrough, I spent a lot of time trying to learn mechanics and whatnot, this playthrough, I have a feeling that somewhere in the game there's going to be a mimic where there wasn't before, so I'm going to be checking that obsessively. But whereas in my blind playthrough I spent a lot of time learning the mechanics, and owing in no small part to the fact that I was only able to see the one ending and that I stumbled upon the secret one that doesn't really make a lot of sense unless you understand other parts of the lore and the storyline. I don't know why I use a life gem when I have 2 Estus flasks, but yeah, so this is just going to be a playthrough of me just walking around and figuring things out for myself. And talking about, you know, the cinematic lore videos I've done, which at that point I'll probably have the Jura one done, in addition to the Eileen the Crow video. And after that, there are the piggies. Hi, piggies. After that, I will have. I'm probably gonna start working on a lore video on Gehrman. Possibly one on Father Gascoigne. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that they think the NPCs in Bloodborne are, or their storylines could have been fleshed out more, but I'm a big fan. PvE in Bloodborne is definitely the best in the series. Okie dokes. There was actually a cut just now because, ow, Steve! Why you do that? I thought we were friends. Because I realized not only did I have enough souls to level up twice, but also that I didn't trade in the Estus flash shard that I just picked up. So in terms of what I'm going to be doing for this build, this is, I've named this build Regret because, or rather in keeping with my tradition of, did I pick up a Pharaoh's Lockstone? Yes, I did. In keeping with my tradition of naming blind playthrough characters Regret, because seeing as I'm playing through the game blind, I'm likely to make a mistake or two that I regret. So I name my characters thusly to remind myself that it's okay. You can make mistakes because there's always going to be a next playthrough. So again, we're seeing a lot of kind of artificial darkness, which I'm not a huge fan of. Seems like in some ways they were trying to recapture the old lighting system, but that it just, yeah, didn't pan out, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you'll have noticed that, yeah, I praised the PvE in Bloodborne. I was specifically referring to the PvE being good, and that's because, yeah, PvP, as was discussed with me and I believe AJ Sin in the comment section of my couple episodes of my blind playthrough, yeah, they really missed a lot of opportunities with Bloodborne PvP. And it's really unfortunate that, for example, you know, you can go through the entire game without the threat of invasion, which I think changes the game in a way that makes it's still, like, superior, but on a fundamental level, it changes part of the threat of playing a Souls game, and that is of having someone potentially invade you at any time. And I say that as I'm playing offline, because once again, unfortunately, my internet is down, but cognizant of that. Not quite hypocrisy, but or hypocrisy rather, but just, yeah. So I'm running low on life gems already. Homer Bones here? No. Ouch! That was not nice, sir. Not kind at all. Keep trying to do backstep R2s, and once again, thinking I'm playing Bloodborne with the expanded movesets.
Hello there. Well,
I had also planned at one point to do a Peyton Crichton cinematic lore video, and I might still do that. We'll see. I have Homer Bones, yes? Oh, no enemy there. Interesting. Okay. Works for me. Yeah, I don't tend to bother with going through that area. I much prefer to just Homer Bone out and then go get the soapstone from him.
I hope that brave warrior. It'll.
Thank you. Okay. Oh. So it's interesting that it seems as though... Whoa. Are they trying to fight the tree? That is so cool. Wow. That is such a small but significant... Oh my gosh. So that's what I picture when I picture a hollow. Someone who's incapable of recognizing that that is not a giant. Not the giant that they were fighting when they turned when, you know, they went capital H hollow. That is what is now a tree that grew out of the corpse of the giant. And that is very, very cool. I am so impressed. B-team or otherwise, that is a very nice touch. And that's the amazing thing once again about the Souls games, is that, you know, if you were just coming into this, you would think, what the fuck are these guys doing? If you had no idea, you know, if this was a, you know, actual blind run, if I'd never played Dark Souls 2 in the past, I would just think that these guys were glitched out. But they actually think that they're fighting a giant. That is, yeah, wow, I am so impressed with that. And this guy looking up at the giant, like, what's going on? Why isn't he dying? I wonder if they'll aggro on. Are they seriously? Wow. Alright, I'm gonna leave them in peace because doing a great job, fellas. Keep it up. Captain Drummond would be so proud of you. That determination. Their blades may break, their arrows fall wide, but their wills will never be broken. There we go. I remembered that backstabs are a thing, once again. Hi, friends. Oh. Someone died for me. It's nice of them. Okay, so that's gonna do it for this episode, because I'm looking at my recording time now, and I'm just over, shade over 50 minutes. And so I'm going to try and keep each episode between 40 and 50 minutes. So 51 is about right place for me to stop recording. And in the next episode, we'll begin by taking out the last giant, and then looking for the weapon that we'll be using at least for the early parts of the playthrough. But yes, thank you very much for joining me. Let me know in the comments section if you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about. I'm going to probably record another episode after this. But if you make a comment between now and when I record episode 3, I don't know when that'll be, but I assume in a couple days, probably. I'll be sure to talk about it in that episode. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.